As the President makes way to the saluting dais, let us be on standby for the national anthem and opening prayer. Shall we remain standing as I call upon Lieutenant Colonel Reverend Mulenga from the Zambia Army to lead us in prayer.
Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, today we come to celebrate the Workers' Day under the theme Acceleration Job Creation for Economic Growth, for their sincere commitment, hard work, and selfless service. Oh Lord God, maker of the universe and all men, this morning we say thank you for the bountiful blessings you have bestowed upon us as a people. Our hearts are reverently grateful for your tender mercies and abundant grace towards us, your people. As in time past, always you have provided with us good rains, bumper harvest, even in tough times. As Habakkuk 2:2 says, then the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and engrave it plainly on clay tablets, so that the one who reads it will run. Our forefathers envisioned a prosperous, peaceful, and resilient Zambia, as engraved in our national emblem, the coat of arms. The eagle symbolizing precision of vision, fearless tenaciousness, high flyers, never settling for less, all full of vitality and the nurturing of the younger generation. Our Lord God, thank you for granting us abundant mineral wealth, a land filled with numerous rivers and streams, having fertile lands full of wildlife, a land filled with spectacular landscapes, testament of the wonders of God. Heavenly Father, what more can we say? We are lost in bewilderment and amazed by your generosity. A land of diversity and a great people, hospitable and loving. Now, Sovereign Lord, bless our beloved President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, and the family. All our leaders at different levels, bless the people of this covenant nation, Zambia. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we do pray. Amen.
A very warm welcome to you all, Mr. Governor, Mr. President, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, or invited dignitaries. We are here for the Labor Day commemorations for the year 2023 under the theme Accelerating Job Creation for Economic Growth. The first thing that we are going to witness here today is the march past of workers. I believe we are all workers, so those that will be marching are representing all of us that are here. Whatever organization, whichever agency you work for, these are marching in our place. And so we ask that we encourage them to march past the president. And, let's give them all the morale. It's not very easy marching in the blazing sun, so I'm sure our cheers will energize them. So the marchers will be coming very, very shortly, and they will march past the guest of honor, the President of the Republic of Zambia. After the marching is concluded, we will then go into the formalities of our program today. So stand by for the marchers. Please be seated as we await the arrival of the marchers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are commemorating the 2023 International Labour Day under the theme Accelerating Job Creation for Economic Growth. And now, commencing the march past is the Zambia Army Brass Band. Request our guests of honor to stand. And now we have the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. And they are saying they are accelerating job creation for economic growth. They are followed by Cabinet Office of the President. Cabinet Office is followed by the Electronic Government Division. Smart Zambia. Labor Day in style. State House is represented, followed by Office of the Vice President. The Office of the Vice President, still represented at this time the disaster management and mitigation unit.
And following CMMU is the Ministry of Defense. Knowing how it should be done. And right after the Ministry of Defense is the Local Government Service Commission under the Office of the President. Still under the Office of the President, we have the Provincial Administration for the Saka. Still again, under the Office of the President, we have the Public Service Management Division, PSFD, what we call. And next we have the Civil Service Commission, also under the Office of the President.
Also here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Office of the President Teaching Service Commission. The Teaching Service Commission is followed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. We have the Zambia Institute of Diplomacy and International Studies. And they're saying excellence in diplomacy as they commemorate Labor Day. Also joining us this morning is the Lusaka City Council. The Lusaka City Council is followed by the Zambia Army Band. That is the Zambia Air Force. And of course, the young ones are not left out. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the majorette.
This is the future workforce of the nation of Zambia. These young ladies dressed up in the national colors and moving in simple harmonic motion, as it were. And now we have the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development. This is one of the newest ministries in government. And they are followed by Corporation College under the Ministry of Medium Enterprise Development. Next up, the Ministry of Technology and Science. Tourism. They have a large representation here on the Labor Day celebration for the year 2023. I think they have representatives from all the tourist sites in the country. of Mines and Minerals Development, and they are followed by the Ministry of Finance and the National Planning.
The Ministry of Finance and National Planning is followed by the Ministry of Information and Media. We have the education sector also represented, the Secondary School Teachers Union of Zambia, the National Technology Business Center. Joining us also is the Ministry of Land and Natural Resources. And right behind the Ministry of Land and Natural Resources is the Zambia Institute of Mass Communication, ZANCO. And we also have our public service broadcaster, the Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation, ZNBC.
Nobody has to declare interest in this one.
I'm declaring interest in this. We have the Independent Broadcasting Authority. IBA is followed by the Pensions and Insurance Authority, regulating the pensions and insurance industry in the country. We have the Zambia Law Development Commission. The Zambia Law Development Commission is followed by the Ministry of Health. And still on health, we have the Lusaka Provincial Health Office. Also commemorating Labor Day, the Lusaka District Health Office under the Ministry of Health. We have Chipata Lebaran Hospital. Chipata Lebaran Hospital is followed by the National Heart Hospital. The National Heart Hospital is followed by the Civil Aviation Authority. And now we have the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Zambia. Mr. President, you may sit.
Mr. President, the President will allow you to take your seat, sir. Sorry. We have UTH, University Teaching Hospitals, Adult Hospitals, and the Lusaka College of Nursing and Midwifery. For followed still under UTH, the Women and Newborn Hospital, also under the University Teaching Hospital. Still in the health sector, we have the UTH's Children's Hospital here, also under the Ministry of Health. And the majority in this section are sponsored by not only future workers, but also future farmers right here. And the Road Development Agency, RDA, this section of projects, and they are followed by the Office of the Auditor General. And right behind us is the Ministry of Home Affairs.
Madam. You can't come this side, madam.
Ministry of Justice. Also here. And we have another agent envelope for the referee, Zambia Correctional Service Commission. Nobody knows the Zambia Civil Service. And the Zambia Police Service Commission, also under the office of the President. Also here, 39 of police service. Cancer Diseases Hospital. Followed by the Health Protection Council as they march back to the resident. Chabra, Secretary of Authority, are also present here. And they are followed by an agency that is very close to it, the Zambia Development Agency, ZAMBIAN.
The Zambian Development Agency is followed by the Zambian Outreach Standards Agency. The young ones are also there, the future workforce First, we have the Margaret Zenamiki Margaret. Celebrating International Labor Day in the judiciary. The judiciary is followed by the Judicial and Allied Workers Union. The Judicial and Allied Workers Union is now followed by ZAMBIAN that have a professional status. Because University celebrated International Labor Day. We have NAPSA, the Zambian Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency. Also joining us this morning, the Commission. The National Prosecution Authority, followed by the Ministry of Energy. The Ministry of Energy is followed by the Technical Education and Vocational and Entrepreneurship Training Authority, etc. We have the Office of the Public Protector, the Public Service Pension Fund, PSPS, well represented this morning and their accelerating cooperation for economic growth. PSLFC, the Public Service Microfinance Company, also represents the National Institute of Public Administration, NEPA. Joining us is the University of Zambia. The University of Zambia is joined by the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment.
And most of what we are in the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation. And following that, the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services. The next is the Center for Infectious Disease Research in Zambia, an organization making significant contribution to job creation and economic growth in Zambia. This is through the super-related projects implemented in partnership with the Ministry of Health and with support from partners and government. Then we have a Lama site, followed by CCPC, the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. And then we have and I hope you have agreed to come here. And also represented here as one of the private sector and the Ministry of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development, looking ready to take on any project here or outside the city of Ghana. They will tell you for what. Ministry of Transport if we have had this is the Ministry of Agriculture. The electoral commission of Zambia. Your vote counts. Also here, one of the many medical universities that have this country, followed by the Kainama Hills College Hospital. And then the next one I want the university hospital. Followed by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Looking very youthful and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts. And they are currently hosting athletes from across the country in NDOLA. Another Ministry of Youth,
The mandarins are followed by capital boxes. Capital boxes are followed by the National Housing Authority, NSA. Taking care of your accommodation needs. The National Housing Authority. Also here is the Radiation Protection Authority. The National Council for Construction. The National Council for Construction is followed by the Zambian Daily Mail. And of course, another media organization, here should declare interest.
I declare interest in this one.
Radio City.
Only the best is good enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us is the Industrial Development Corporation, IDC. IDC is followed by the Energy Regulation Board, ERB. Celebrating International Day is the Zambia Association of Black Women and Girls Empowerment. the Zambia Electronic Clearinghouse Limited. The Office of the President, Lusaka District Administration. And also here is EMS Expressel and Courier Services of South EMS, the Zambia Postal Services Corporation. We have the Food Reserve Agency, securing national strategic food reserves, taking well to rural Zambia. The Food Reserve Agency, FRA. The National Red Fund Agency, NRFA, National Red Fund Agency, followed by the Zambia Public Procurement Authority, ZPPA. Taking care of the printing needs is New Horizons Printing Press. We have the Kariba Northland Extension Power Corporation, a subsidiary of Vesco. They are here to take care of the power needs. Ladies and gentlemen, the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA. We have the Bank of Zambia. The Bank of Zambia is qualified. This general insurance. This general insurance taking care of your general insurance needs. And of course, the banking sector will be presented. We have NAPSA. NAPSA is qualified NCCS investment holding. NCCSIS. We have the Zambia Institute of Human Resource Management.
And then we have another who are sponsored by Zambia, leading the nation. I hope you will leading the way in this section of conduct, the Department of Immigration. Making sure everyone who is in Zambia should be in Zambia. And right behind the Department of Immigration is the Human Rights Commission. And then powering the nation, sexual.
I hope wherever you are also celebrating, just like today, our country is celebrating Labor Day. I don't know If you grew up in Zambia, that's one event you could not miss. I want one of the people I'm with here to open their mic. Just want to take just about 5 minutes. We talk about our experience about Labor Day celebrations. It's a wonderful thing, and I hope if time allows, then we can hear what the president had to say. Good evening, Jean. Are you able to come on board and talk? This is our platform, UPND Europe chapter live broadcast. Here we talk about our country, we talk about development, we talk about everything that has to do with our nation. You know, the whole idea is to supplement the government where they are lacking. You know, in my language, we say that one finger, cannot pick a rice. You need the whole village to grow a child. So government alone cannot be able to tackle all the problems without the involvement of the people. That includes us who are in diaspora. So, Jean, have you ever marched on Labor Day like that?
Hello, good evening. Yes, I remember the time I was at Kasese Secondary School, and we had to present our school. We had to also talk about the orphanage of the Kasese Secondary School. Yeah, we marched. It was really something encouraging. And yeah, you could see how Zambia was developing with different types of companies. It was, yes, very, very interesting. Thank you.
Wow, wonderful. Babubala, if you are able to hear us, please try when you join with your mic and your video. Then you can switch it off if you don't want to be seen. Actually, you're not seen. I'm only the only person who is the forefront. You don't get seen, so we want to hear your voice. Now, that is really, really very interesting, Jean. These are the things we used to do in our youth days in Zambia. And you can see they are still taking place today. I don't know if people who are in Europe, they remember about this, because we are supposed also to be marching. What do you think? Here in Europe today, they celebrate also. I mean, we are all free. It's a holiday as well here in Europe, especially where we are in Germany. Jean.
Yes, that would have been nice. I think we have to start organizing ourselves so that we see what sector we are going to take as UPND chapter, what we are going to present whilst we are marching in Germany, and which part of the town we are going to be, because as you know, we are all in different towns. So we also need to know which town. Is it Berlin? Is it Stuttgart where you are? Or are we going to march in Munich? So I think we need to organize ourselves, and really we need to see what we can sell. Maybe we can think of our copper, the copper that we have. You know, we advertise on copper saying, okay, we have the copper, we are looking for investors in Zambia. Yes, I think that would be a very good idea to do.
Wow.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, here they do a lot of activities. If you know, for example, technology and industry activities, they always do them in Hanover. This just finished. I know that they do a lot, even in culture things, they go to such an extent. So there is a lot that we can learn from here, what we can take to our country, and also what we can bring here. Actually, we are talking about tourism. That's the best way of marketing two different countries in an easy way, whereby people, they are comfortable, there are no complications, there are no laws that they need to be forced and enforced. It's just something that people, they just come together and they start doing something like that. I think in addition to what you have said, we can go into tourism. You know, tourism, we have been discussing about this for so long. You know, many years we are talking about how we can help to market Zambian tourism. So that's one area we can do that. We can support our government. We can support our embassy here to make sure that we take the tourism to Germany, to Europe, so that people, they can go and visit our country. You know, Zambia is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's not just about the Victoria Falls. You know, if you go in every corner. I was there last year and I was accorded a chance to go in the deep land at Kudioli, not Kudioli, Gumunzi. Yeah, very deep, some areas. Yeah, I went as far as deep across the Kafue River, I don't know how many times, you know, and see how people are living. Land is so fertile. So we can take all this to the people and let them go and see Zambia, because it's an economic drive, tourism. And also what you have said, copper. I've been working for the last 11 years in the car industry, where they are making electric car, e-mobility, that's what they call it. You know, they don't have the materials. They are looking for these things. And we, back in Zambia, we are seated on these things. We cannot market them. We cannot help the president to market them. It is our duty to come and assist where we can. The only problem people maybe have is that they are always thinking about how can they benefit. It is not supposed to be like that. Me, I'm a Christian. I can tell you, I believe what I believe, and I know that whatever I've believed in, God has provided. If you are looking for money, don't look for money. Look for an idea, because that idea, if it is manifest, it is received by people, it will bring the money that you are looking for. That is the principle of the rich people. That is the secret of those who have made it in life. So I don't know if there is something you still want to add, Jean. I would have wished that you have your mic on, but it looks like maybe it's your browser or something like that, because the streaming software that we use, there are certain browsers that it doesn't use. That's why your device is showing that not connected. How I wish you could go back and try to come in again, and then maybe we can hear from you. Maybe you are on the ground or wherever you are, or how you celebrated your Labor Day. Actually, today, we really wanted to talk about so many other things, but we reserve them for another day. We have to change the program a bit, but please be assured that the live broadcast here will definitely continue. We are working in the ground how we can do best. You know, the whole idea is to make known the good things that are happening in our country. Let's not just feed our people with bad things when good things are happening. You know, you see, the more you hear them, the more you hear him, and they will overtake your mind, and you start believing that life is so. That is actually the last 10 years. I think that's how many people had lived. They had just thought about that. So, Jean, in 3 minutes, anything that you would want to add to Labor Day?
Yes, I just want to wish all the hard-working Zambians a happy Labor Day. I pray that they continue lifting the Zambian flag high up, so that we can explore, so that we can have a better Zambia. Yes, I wish everyone the best of today. Thank you.
Wonderful. So let's just hear what the president had to say. He was the guest of honor today at Labor Day. And as you can see, the motto is the accelerating job creation for economic growth. So I'll try to see if I can get the video and we hear what he said. Let me see. There we are.
Let me start by recognizing, acknowledging the presence here of yourself, Labor Minister, your colleagues, our colleagues in Cabinet, all of them, and the Speaker of the National Assembly, through our representative, the deputy, the Chief Justice of our country, and Secretary to the Cabinet, under you, the permanent secretaries that are present here, also the Mayor of Lusaka, and the local government rank and file. I also wish to recognize all our members of parliament that are present here today, and indeed our service chiefs that are present, the diplomatic corps that are present here, our very, very important partners, ZCTU, President, and your new team. Congratulations to you, sir. And also our leader representing the employers, both of whom I'm seated with at this stage. I also wish to recognize the international labor organizations, obviously regional ones as well, and all the unions that represent our workers. Now, it is important for me to also recognize, through you, madam, all the employers, all the investors. I am very quick to say that the Labor Day is incomplete if we don't talk about where those workers work, because it's not possible to be a labor person without having an investor. And the investor cannot exist, cannot operate their business without the skills, without labor. So you can see how important these two wings are. And number three, the tripartite is incomplete without government. So we are a team. So it's very important that we recognize that we are a team. I must also acknowledge the presence of the media. Very important media, ladies and gentlemen. A lot has been said already, and I do not wish to take too much of your time anymore, because the speakers before me have said it all. But I must acknowledge how delighted I am to officiate for the second time at this Labor Day celebrations. As the ZCTU has acknowledged, we as government are employers, but we are also workers. We are also part of you. The flip side of us being employers, we are also employees. This particular one talking here is an employer, yes, as president of Zambia, but is an employee of the 20 million Zambians. I work for the people of Zambia, so I'm your member as well. So when you direct your attention to the government, you are directing your attention to your members. So we, your members, we, your employers, and other employers are delighted to be sitting together here. Now, let me also, very early on in my remarks, acknowledge the hard work that the workers, our labor, in totality, have been basically delivering at the workplaces. We appreciate that. All the achievements that have been scored under sometimes challenging working environments are well appreciated by this new dawn government. And I believe any decent government, I dare say. So now, having acknowledged what successes you employees rather, have achieved, our labor has achieved, and it's right to acknowledge that on this Labor Day. It's also important to flip the coin on the other side, to acknowledge the employers. And that's why the two are seated together here. It is not by chance, this is deliberate. This is how work is structured. There must be an employer, there must be an employee, and vice versa. And I want to commend the two of you for the industrial harmony that you have achieved. in the past year. Extremely important to assuring economic activity, continuation of economic activity. And the theme is completely apt, accelerating job creation for economic growth. When we're industrial disharmony, that's the TU president and Federation of Employers, it means you are slowing down transactions. It means you are suspending transactions. It means you are suspending medical services. And when you do those things in many industries, you basically slow the economy down. A negation of the thing here. And when you slow the economy down, you will basically not create any jobs. The youth need the jobs. Our youth, 60% of our population is young. They need the jobs. For them to have the opportunity to get a job, they need the economy to function 24/7. You heard me? 24/7. And then with growth, we can create jobs. Let me say something that others don't wish to say, because that's the way my brain works, and I need to allow it to work the way it was structured by God. Now here's some hidden issue. It's not just creating jobs that we're interested in. If we are interested in creating jobs, but we want to enhance the jobs of those that are already in employment, to make sure that their conditions of service improve. It is important to ensure that businesses are more efficient. They are more, if you like, profitable. They are growing. Businesses, when they grow, the economy grows. Simple as that. There's no magic in it. There's no complication. That's how it works. And in order to remunerate the workers that are already in employment well, Mr. President of the ZCTU, we need to make sure that businesses are successful. Businesses are cutting costs. Businesses are growing their revenue, top line. Businesses are also growing the bottom line. When they grow the bottom line, you create an opportunity for what is called savings. When you create savings, now you have an opportunity to invest more. The investments will come from the savings that are generated by businesses that are already in operation. Now you understand. Now we know how it works. But we always know, but we ignore it. And this government wants to remind labor, remind investors, employers, that we are basically married to each other. Government, labor, employers are married to each other. And the agenda is simple. The agenda is to grow the businesses, invest more after you create savings. And then I must hasten again, Mr. President of labor and the employers, especially labor. I want you to understand, us to understand that if we increase our costs, we have no chance in hell to create savings. And if we can't create savings, we can't reinvest. If we can't reinvest, we can't grow the economy. Then we can't create the jobs. Then we negate the theme, accelerating job creation for economic growth. I hasten to say here, for enhancing employee remuneration and better conditions of service. Come on.
Wow, wow, wow. You have heard what the president has said, Kwamana. Maria, good evening. We can't hear you. If you can just try to put your mic.
Good evening, good evening. Yes, I've come.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yes, you heard the president saying Kwamana. He's talking about job creation. What is your take?
Well, with job creation, I think it's an issue that is really at heart to everyone who means well to the country. I say so because if we have to give a hand in reducing the unemployment level in the country, then we have to think about the factors that can enhance, the reduction of the unemployment. Oh my God, to increase the job opportunities in the country. Yeah, as diaspora, I think we are called to service. This is a call to action by the head of state, not only leaving it to our, brothers and sisters in the country. We know that, yes, of course, there's a lot happening in the country, but there's much that can be pumped into this sector. Here we are. We're here to meet today because we have the agenda of our government at heart. And I don't have much to say, but it's just like repeating myself, and that is it. A call to action. Thank you.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful from you, Maria. I always cherish the way you come out and and your passion to do something good for humanity. It is really always a great pleasure to interact with you. And I'm very, very sure with a combination of your likes and others here on this platform, we are going to do exploits, and we are going to really to help our country, Zambia. I would say the wheels are already rolling. We are going to see more very soon, and I'm very certain because I know that doors have been opened, and we can make them even more wider to make sure that we achieve together and support the government of the day, and make sure that our people, they benefit from the activities, the change that they want, and also the kind of development, even jobs, business. You can mention them all. Yeah. So, Jean, you are also here. You heard the president talking about the only way that we can help our youth is to create jobs. Is that the only thing we can do, or is there some additional things that we can add on, Jean?
Yes, we can. Actually, we can try and how do I put it? By empowering them also. I mean, we find out what skills they would have, and then we try and also empower them. Maybe in the way of, if somebody is good in bricklaying, we could also try to empower them in that area. Because I see there are so many bricklayers who are working at home. Maybe they have not even done their vocational training. If we try and empower them in that area, and then they would be able to work and have their own small companies. Yeah, apart from employing them in the government, because we have a huge number of youths out there who are unemployed. So maybe the government wouldn't have that capacity to employ all of them. Even us, like what Maria is doing, she's opening up companies there. That is also a way of giving jobs to the youth. I believe so. Thank you.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you so much. Maria, I always have one question. Having lived in Europe for close to 30 years now, there is one thing that disturbs me most of the time. When companies or government or anywhere, when they advertise for a job, they will put so much stumbling blocks for those people who are looking for employment. They will put things like age. Maybe you have to be 20, 21, but you should have 15 years experience. How can it work? Can it work that something like that to our Zambian situation? And on the other hand, what can we take to Zambia as a team here in the chapter?
Okay. Answering to your first question about why the the qualifications which are needed to employ somebody, the bar is raised that high. Obviously, like here where we are, it's all to do with the taxes that they have to pay for a certain age of an employee. You have the rates, which are quite expensive, the pension they have to, the pension contributions, other factors that they have to look into. And that is most of the times expensive for some, for an employer to look into. And we know that most of the times when you just complete university, you are picked not because of your qualifications, because maybe, mostly it's because you still have to gain experience, and as such they can't pay you that much. Okay, and so we have the experienced workers, expats, those they get an amount of money which is equivalent to their experience. But if we take the same context back home, I'm not saying that back home our NAPSA, the pensions scheme, doesn't look into these factors. Maybe they're a little bit much better looking at the context we're in. But when it comes to employing the youths, just like what Jean said, that we have, yes, it's a fact actually that most of our African countries have, the population composed of at least 40% of the young generation, the youths. And these factors we see here of high qualifications back home should not be applied that much, because it's just detrimental to, the harnessing of the potential and, because the youths, we're looking at the ability, the energy they have. We're looking at the digital era, and most of our youths already, they are. I had an opportunity. Sorry to dive it. I had an opportunity to meet a group of young innovators who are under the STEM Foundation, and STEM Foundation is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And so these young innovators, I felt pity because they are geniuses, and they have, the potential to drive some of these small, upcoming startups or small businesses, but they don't have the possibility. This is why I still go back to say, come on, in the diaspora, we can still give a hand. We can still give a hand by, giving ourselves out there to say, there's this company which is in Nigeria, which is in Ghana. Why don't I talk to them to also say, why don't you come down south? It's us to get out of our comfort zones, and then fight it out. Here we are. Thank you.
Wonderful. I like the way you put it. So thank you so much. I think we can, those are doables, even as we call them, deliverables. We can do that. We just have to really team. Let's come out as a team, collaborating and working together. And definitely, in my language, they say that Pai Kilaba Kulu, Tawiti Kashani, Suputef. Yeah, so we can do a lot. Now, but I just want to ask you a question, Maria. You grew up in Zambia. Have you ever marched on a Labor Day?
Oh my God. Yeah, I worked for government printers when I was back home before. Yeah. And because I was very sportive, so I liked such things where we used, we marched. With Labor Day, yes, we used to go and march on behalf of our company, the printing department. Yes, it was a government department, and so we had to. Yeah, I did, and Yeah,
That
exciting
those are
moment to
marvelous
meet other
moments.
workers and celebrate today.
Yes, when you think about those times, it's so wonderful. Just waiting. When is this day coming? And when it comes, you see everyone dressed in uniform. And today, I was just so excited, to see that these things, they are still taking place. They are still happening. This is really wonderful. It also brings people closer, much, much closer. And, people, they come so a bit nearer. Now, maybe I actually today we wanted to talk about the trends of happenings in Zambia. Let me see where this thing is here. Yes, we say that voices, news, trends on the ground. Now, one of the things is that on Friday last week was KK Day. What so special thing do you remember in the Kaunda era?
To me? Is it
Yes.
for me?
Yes, it's for you.
Oh, I remember a lot. Sorry to talk a lot. I was born at State House. And so I grew up seeing Dr. Kaunda because Daddy was one of his favorite drivers. And yeah. So I grew up in that, what can I say, the political atmosphere, government atmosphere. Then I spent my childhood at State House. I went to Woodlands Primary School, Kablonga Girls Secondary School, excuse me. And my memories are both social and as well as when it comes to education. I'll give you a very interesting memory I have, because I went to a primary school which was in the State House compound. When you're a young policeman, you first live in that before some promotions and babysitting. And so I went to this primary school where I didn't miss a single day. I was little, yes, I know, because we also had something to receive for break. There was a nutrition program. And so we received, for break, we had chocolate milk. And I don't remember what it was. And then we were in feeding program.
Okay, we are losing you.
Education in the Kaunda time, appreciated period of era.
Wonderful.
Hello, have you lost me?
Yeah, we are losing you. So try to say something again now. Maybe
okay.
You are back.
Yes. Just to jump from one era to another, I should say that what I appreciate a lot is the sense of humanism that we lived during the reign of Kenneth Kaunda. Yeah, it's a philosophy, but I think it really helped the country a lot to come together. I remember that when I left, when Daddy retired, we went to live in coming together as a community. I remember that we used to keep our streets clean, houses. We did recycling at that time, and now we have a big problem. We have a big problem of managing, the disposal of the waste. At that time, imagine, I'm talking of humanism, and what I want to say is we had the care as street by street. We would be like 5 houses come together once a week to keep our areas clean. And like that, it's not because there was somebody to whip you, but it was the sense of discipline which was instilled in the citizenry, and okay, we've lost it, time have changed and what, but there's a lot to remember about late KK, a lot really. Thank you.
Wow, this is nice to remind about humanism. I remember as a young boy, always on the 18th, then we have this self-reliance week, where we go out to help elderly people, people who are handicapped and the like, helping in the communities everywhere. There's no school at that time. You just go and do some kind of work. It was really a nice time. And one of the things I still remember as well is that when I went to grade 1, I started actually at the Emersdale nursery school at the opposite the police camp. If you know Emersdale, there's that primary school.
Yes.
Yeah, I grew up. That time we were living in Karundu, but my father said I should go there. I lived with his young brother. So let alone he took us to the village to just experience village life. So I remember when I went in grade 1 that the school fees was just 1 kwacha. You can imagine at that time. Well, every family, everyone could afford it. It was not an issue. No one could start arguing and complaining. Wonderful things. Jean, I want you also to talk. Do you know Katoritori? Did you ever experience Katoritori?
What is Katori? Yes, Tutoritori. Yeah. But but in my time, things were getting far much better. They were getting better. We didn't have so much of Tukatoritori. Yeah.
They already have electricity. How about that? This Sakulo, you women, there is that Sakulo used to use.
We also had
that Sakulo is called a stretching combine. The one that we used to put, yes, the one that we used to put on Malasha Chaco. And then you stretch your hair.
Gone are the days. Really.
Yes.
How about that pressing iron, Jayamalash?
All those ones we used them, but those ones were even better than these ones we are using now. I wish we could also get them, but I think they are nowhere to be found. Okay. Because they are very economical.
Yeah,
really. They're coming back bit by bit, slowly.
Okay.
That is indigenous technology.
Yes, go ahead, Bamaria.
No, I'm saying that indigenous technology, it's coming back. They're coming back with over Brenda. Oh, sorry, team, we'll be passive. Do we have somebody?
But Brenda and Linda, they are here, but they have not joined with their voices. So please, if they can just try to rejoin, make sure that when you are joining, you make sure that you join with your mic and also your video. After that, you can switch it off. When you are joining us, you are in the backstage. You don't come directly in the front studio. So don't worry if you don't want to show your face. Just come out of a blender if you are hearing us, or someone just write them a private message, please. If you can write them.
We've left them out. I thought we're just the 3 of us. Sorry.
No, they are there, but they cannot speak. How about the way things were? I remember, we used to have UBZ. Did you use those wonderful buses? Those wonderful.
Okay, I can hear.
Yeah.
United Bus Company. That time, yes, we had parastatal companies, and then there was a time that there was a period of privatization. We lost all those. Yes, because obviously it was due to management. We needed, we needed what can I say? I know innovative managers to run state companies, and obviously the country at that time was in a decline. You remember that we were one of we were slowly going into a country, running into a poverty-stricken country and indebted. As such, we had to lose all those state companies that were privatized. Some just died in natural death, and until we passed through all that long period of uncertainty, and until there was the debt relief and ABCD, and then we started coming up as a country, and then but we have things to remember about the past, really. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe we can come back and make it a topic on its own so that we can revive our good memories. You know, for anything good to happen, you should know where you're coming from, you should know where you are, and it will direct you to help you to take the right direction where you are going to. Yeah, Maria, unfortunately, Gina has dropped. I hope she can still come back. Linda is listening us in the background. I hope our commitment, and I wish that many others could be here so that we can interact very well. Now, Maria, these last 2 weeks, there have been a very exciting weeks in Zambia. One of some things that has happened in the whole world, it has never happened, you know, whereby a bill was signed. NAPSA is now a reality in Zambia. What is your take?
I'll say that I'll just talk from experience using the context of how important a provident fund is for a country. I missed the signing of the bill, but I should express my joy if this has been passed, because I know how a provident fund, the pension scheme, how important it is for a country. It's actually, you know, a part of it's an institution which continues driving an economy's fiscal policies or agenda. And we had like National Provident Fund and ABCD, and how weak you know those institutions were. But I think if a bill has been passed, I won't say much, but I am just happy because I know that now we have a lot of tools which are being put in place, tools which we can say that they are good enough to sustain our retired our pensioners, as well as I don't want to bring something as well as much more that NAPSA is doing at the moment as far as you know, development of you know, the development agenda of the country is concerned.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. I'll just add on to that. This is something good. Though, you know, hear stories of people who have got that money disappearing from their families.
Oh, poor me.
Just leaving the wife and the children. Someone is gone. And yeah, it's really very...
And then they'll come back. They'll come
Yes.
back when the money is finished. This is like a curse. It's unfortunate, for God's sake, because somebody... Hello, Lynn.
Hi, partner.
Are you ever now to talk?
Yeah.
Oh.
Able to talk.
I leave some space for you.
Yes, we shall bring her very soon. Let's carry on where we were. Yeah, NAPSA is really a good thing, as I said, but some people are already abusing it. But we also want to send a message at this time to tell people to be very careful. Let no one fall in wrong hands, so that you live. Pension is the last capital that a person and individual has in life. It has to be treated with care so that someone doesn't, you know, suffer, you know, because there shall be you are no longer strong. You cannot do any more labor work. So it must be treated. And there's something the president has said today about some good 10, 15 hours ago. He said that as part of our labor reforms, we will reform NAPSA to start paying mid-term pensions benefits to the contributors. Don't have to wait until retirement to access their money. I think that is something good. Looking at how our lifespan, you know, the mortality rate, at how many people die at an early stage without enjoying, and when they die, I'm one of the victims. I remember when my uncle died in 1992. He was an army colonel in ZNS, and he was supposed to get about 20 million, you know. So people started playing cards, and at the end of the day, the money they received was nothing. It took, actually, in a period of 6 months, if the children was to continue living the standard of life they were living, it was all gone. So I think it is something really, really good. Linda, what do you say to NAPSA? What's your take?
Where am I going to start from? I start from the Kaunda era.
Yeah, we are already gone. We are talking about NAPSA.
NAPSA, I can't say much. But then that's a very good cause which the president has embraced, because if I remember very well, a lot of parents, a lot of people died without enjoying not even a bit of what they've been saving. So with this system, it is also allowing people, you can eat small your money before you even die. Then
Okay, she has frozen. Let's hope she'll come back. Anyway, we
I
can
would
eat small.
continue a little bit. Yes,
Yes.
because I think this is a very, very good step the government has taken. Yes, you talked of the lifespan. Indeed, we have a very very short lifespan, and a lot of people work so hard, and they just leave the pension in administrators and ABCD. But this system indeed of getting part of what you're saving can even make you invest it in a business, invest it in a in a property that can also generate a bit of funds for you to go. I love it. This is really good. Thank you.
Yeah, Linda, you are speaking. Sorry, you got frozen. So if you are able to carry
it was just rounding. Everybody's like everybody was affected. It's connecting.
As we are here, we didn't move.
Okay. Yeah. So at least it's giving a chance to people for all the years they've worked for, so that at least they can benefit something at the end of the day before they leave the earth. A practical example I would leave is I think even somebody had asked to say, I think it was Regina in the MP's group. She asked to say, this pension fund, is it the same one which we were paying in the whatever years? And then somebody says, no, that's not the same. That one was the, I don't know how they called it, So that means but they said, I think they've got still records. Why don't everybody benefit, whether they've changed to pension to the other one, and a lot of people have died, leaving families. That money can still help to send their children back to school. It was a very good thing, and a lot which the president has doing. The only problem we have is the UPND media team is sleeping, because there are a lot of things which the president has just done in this 1 year time, which most of the things are not in the media for people to know. It really, on that one, he has really scored. He has really scored, because even if the PF, they say they want to come back, they would ask them, in your time of the government, what have you done? People have been crying. It's only them themselves who had money. The poorer became poorer, despite have had some money. But now the UPND has come in to say, okay, employment has been given. Not that watwalo mwana ku skulu adipuisha adeyolera to a government wakamposte. This time now the government is busy empowering the people who have gone to school, the teachers, the nurses. That's why Balanda Tibali wakule kafie, because we don't know what next is going to do. There's one guy, a Tonga guy, who was saying, "Mwatumanugiha," meaning we haven't even started celebrating this one. Another thing comes. So we don't know. Yeah. Bali wakule kafie.
That's a wonderful.
Yeah, like yesterday I watched on his tour on Facebook. Oh my God, I've forgotten where I think I posted it on our chat.
That was
a very beautiful chant. A very beautiful chant from the people who care, the people who know how to appreciate. They were like 90 years in power.
Like, exactly. Because if you remember, he's just 1 year plus, and doing these things. By the end of 5 years, it will be just him, excluding his MPs, Because if the MPs are working like the way he's working, Zambia would have been a better nation. You know,
adjustments are going to give a hand. Adjustments are going to give a hand. It's always like that, you know.
Yes, just to add on to that, the whole of last week he was on a working holiday in the Copper Belt, and particularly he went to CHILILABOMBWE, where we saw a number of thousands of people defecting. Is it implying that we are going to see the same situation that has happened to previous parties like UNIP, MMD, now PF, that they are going to die completely because people they are leaving? They left. About 3,600 people left. Yeah, I think, was it on Sunday or Saturday when he was addressing Maria?
The part of defecting, I think I didn't see it, but I saw him giving a speech in Chililabommbwe. There I can tell lies. It was just a quick, just a glimpse of his visit that side that I got. No, not much to say.
Okay, wonderful. Valinda, what do you have to say to that? It has happened. People, they are now realizing they are missing out. There are some MPs who are on opposition and they have not implemented a single CDF for the past 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah. There are very slim chances of PF bouncing back. One, the problem is they even want Lungu to continue as their president, of which Lungu had already had 2 terms. He doesn't even qualify to stand. If you saw, there was a letter which the registrar wanted to abolish PF because I think their committee was not complete.
Yes, they only had 3 people. Yeah.
Then they had, it's like then they came back, they bounced back to say, Isafio Saine. Because all those people they've put up to make a group, I don't know, they've got a problem with it. That's how I saw it in the MP's group. You know, it's like whatever don't say that tukumanishe namba nga so that we qualify for this. And then looking at the pace the UPND is going, especially the president, how he's changing, trying to put a smile to every Zambian. There are very slim chances, very slim. It's like everybody who is in the executive of PF has got a problem. If only the UPND can say, okay, all these, they'll be found wanting one or the other. Because on that list, there was the Mombipiris. I wish they had even targeted my youths, fresh brains, not recycling the same people.
Wow.
So for me, there are very slim chances of them bouncing back. Especially now, there are some accounts which have been frozen. There are some houses which have been taken by the deck. So those are the things which really gave them power, because they know they've got accounts. They have the money in those accounts, you know. So when the money is not there to support the party, well, we wait to see anyway.
Wow. Thank you so much. That's a good insight. You know, these things we have to bring out them. That's why we are here, so that people they know. We are not making choices for anybody. It's up to the people to make the decisions at the end of the day, what they see, you know, because on the other hand, there are human rights, there's a Bill of Rights and all that. So if these people still want Lungu to bounce back, then they have to come in and we see how they can change the law to allow him to stand for the 3rd term. You know, that is what destroyed actually Chiluba. I
don't know if you heard about that. I don't know who shared. There was an audio, I think it's me who shared it, where somebody was saying,
yeah, I heard that.
Honestly, these were PF friends, like we are discussing, and then you somebody saying, but then I'm asking myself, where is the Zambian government? Because that person is already a threat. Why can they call the same people who were talking in the audio, because there are people who are known. Babachita question.
Yeah, okay. No, let's not go in that direction. We have our boundaries, so let's concentrate on what we can do ourselves. That is very informative information. Well, Maria, just a question. We had by-elections recently in Zambia at ward level and council level, and all of them UPND won them. Is the opposition dead in Zambia?
Well, with what we've just talked about, that they are heading towards the dissolution of the party, I think the like-minded people in the country have seen. They have seen that there's more, here in Italy, they say, more meat to chew on one end than the bones on the other side. Sorry to give this similitude, but this is the way to go, because if people are being blinded. I think Linda is right to say we need much more to go out there. The media needs to find another way of letting the people know, sensitization of what real things are happening. Obviously, the president can't be everywhere. Even in the media, what to say, I have done. There's need for there's need to strengthen the sensitization machine. If you look at how the country, which was supposed to be in a default, and a default is not, it is in a default still. It's not a joke. We were expecting to go really down, really to be, I don't know, we were going to be like the poorest country in SADC, and this is the route which has been avoided by the mechanism, by the techniques, I don't know what to call them, the strategies that the New Dawn government have put in place in order to avoid that route. I'm telling you that when I heard a default, for God's sake, oh my God, this was quite scary. And it was unfortunate that the past regime had no sensitivity about it. It was like, it's just a name or whatever. No, for God's sake, they had left the country in serious problems. And I would say that if you have studied economics, or if you are in international, relations affairs and ABCD, one can judge. Well, I'm talking about something I should be proud of, that our country is being praised of at the moment. The government is doing that. Oh my God, is this? Very well, Mr. London, that I'm, I'm a facilitator in development cooperation projects. What I'm hearing is, wow, now Zambia has a favorable atmosphere to go and invest into. Oh my God. And receiving calls to say, is this a real situation? Well, it's really thanks to what is being put in place, and the efforts and the sleepless nights are our leaders at the moment in the governing, the cabinet, name them. How hard they're working to pull the country away from the agony it was supposed to. The last thing. It was very unfortunate for a lot of people to tell lies, to say the promises which were given by our government haven't been fulfilled, especially like reducing the price of petrol. Well, how much are we paying out here due to the Ukraine-Russia? Well, how much are we paying? A lot, much more than what our people back home are paying. And nobody can come and say that they said they were going to reduce it. Is Zambia the only country in the world which should not feel the pinch of what this war is all about? Telling the truth to the people, it's not only a matter of political saying that you talk loud and what, but even honest politics is a feature. You know, it's anyway. I stop. Thank you.
Wow, it's wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. It's really great to hear from you. And please, let's keep it like this. All of us, let's contribute and liberate our country. You know, there is one thing you should know in life. If your neighbor is eating and you are also eating, no one will think of stealing from the other person. That is the kind of spirit we should have. You know, that simply means if the other person is comfortable, and they will not think evil, will not think about bad about you. So we have to uplift our country from where it is to the middle class. You know, I mean, countries that started with us, look at where they are. Countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, where they have floods, they have tsunamis, they have all sorts of calamities. And Zambia don't have really such problems to face. So we can use the knowledge and the labor and the materials, I'm talking of resources, that God has given us to propel this country to prosper. So we are happy to be joined by Minister Roslyn. She's here, and we would want to hear our voice. We will talk. The last point we want to talk about later, but not now, is about athletics. Okay, athletics. We will close with athletics today, as we have seen on the program. Minister Roslyn, good evening.
Good evening, audience. I'm glad to be here. I'm sorry for being late, but I would love to follow behind and hear more, because I joined in a bit late and I'm left behind with points. But all I know is about what is happening back home at this moment. You know, what I know in development, there are two sides of it. You know, there are those for and there are those against. But our focus is mainly for the people that are seeing things happening, like our last speaker, Sister Maria said. You know, anybody who fights the progress is the enemy of progress. And at the moment, when we reflect back what we used to see and what we are seeing, because there is the past and the present, we can compare the two as with a very big margin difference into how do we do about it. The other aspect is about listening to the cry of the people and desiring to help where the people are concerned. That is what we are talking of a leader. Because if you are a leader and you are listening to people, I know that it's not everything our leader is supposed to pick, but where there is sense is what they are working on. The cry of people. Just, you know, I'm on a different forum for my the province, Northwestern. Just yesterday, I was so much impressed to see how CDF is coming in to help the children that never thought of going to university or even going to train. The CDF has been, you know, in one constituency, they picked around over 40 children under CDF to sponsor them to go and train. And that is amazing. That's why our new government is really working to reduce the number of illiteracy as well. When I talk of education, because I'm an educationist, I'm in the field of teaching, and that's my interest and concern to see how best we can improve the education. And this alone gave me a very big, you know, smile on my face. And every child was happy. We are talking of people that the parents are not able, they are just peasant farmers. They can just grow the crops and put it in the pot. Tomorrow they'll be looking for some more food. And you talk about sending a child to the university, you talk about a child sending a child to a college or even a skill training center. It is not easy for them. And that's why they end up saying, oh, you finished school, there is nothing we can do. And that's why we have so many roaming around, grade 12 people. But now our new government is saying, look, we can channel this money and not only into business, but they are channeling it also into the children, the youth, so that they can go to higher levels of institution and also learn for the better of our country. And that is something that we need to raise our banners and say, thank God for giving us a leader who is thinking of improving the young generations to better the Zambia for tomorrow. So
Wow.
that one also, I can mention that one really because this is the cry, and this is a lot of people desire that. There are students that have dropped out of higher education because of lack of funds. And if they registered and they are picked, they can finish. We're going to have a lot of numbers of high qualified teachers, lawyers. We're going to have doctors. We're going to have all the field of work. And the country is going to be happy. So
Yeah.
that is what I can say. I can really give a big thanks to our country, to our president, to the leaders that are there to see that the poor or the low income people are considered and put on the level where they don't have to cry 24 hours and feeling like, why were they born? Why are they Zambians? You know, there are those kind of questions people go through. You look at your mother or your father, they are not able to provide. You start thinking, why was I even born in this family? You know, it's nobody can choose. Why do people go to those questions? Is because they have reached their limits. But with this new government, that limit has been, reversed to appreciate everybody according to their level. Thank you, the current president, for doing this.
Wonderful.
I
Wonderful.
submit.
Well put, Minister. That is great. This should be our focus. You know, I think most of you are in my age. We are close. You remember in the KAUNDA era, there was a beautiful thing that used to happen. Some people, when they finish the school, immediately from school, the companies will come them and take them and employ them.
Yes.
You remember? Yeah, that was a very good thing. They will train them. They will train them to be managers. They will train them in different professions and the like. And the rest who could not maybe make it to that because there were some criteria they were looking at, they will take them to Zambia National Service. You know, that was also like a receiving basket for anyone who is out of school so that children, they don't just loiter anyhow and do that. I don't know why such wonderful ideas, they died. They were really good because here, where we are in Europe, it's no different. That's what they do. They still do it, and they've continued. Thank you so much, Minister, for that insight. And please, let's push. We are here seeing beautiful things. Let's make it. So we are going to close in a few minutes. There, about 20
We haven't talked about sport.
Yes, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Yeah. So I just want us to talk about sports. One of the things that is taking place in the country, apart from the political atmosphere, is that Zambia is hosting the Confederation African Athletics Championship in NDOLA at Lake Manawasa, if you didn't know. And so far, only one boy has won a medal. But before we talk about that, one of our boys, Muzala, if you know him, is a 400 meters runner. He just ran his best times. Those who don't know, they will tell you that he has ran the world record. No, it's not the world record, please. It is the best time this year for those who are the top or who are the top. I think he ran something like 43 seconds, 0.91. And that is really good. There's some Grand Prix which is taking place in Botswana, and that's where he timed that. Wow, how do we know this? It is because I myself, I've been a sportsman. Many people, they don't know. I've been an athlete. I've represented the country. I was at the All African Games in 1995 in Harare, Zimbabwe, and I ran the finals in 100 meters. People, they don't know about that because we don't talk about it. I mean, we are in sports. My friends are sportsmen. Well, some of them, they went as far as the Olympics, Barcelona, Atlanta 1996, some as far as 1988. We know all these guys, they are our friends. Avena Samuel Matet, we grew up, we used to interact very well. Yeah. So coming back now to the topic, there is this occasion, that is event that is taking place. Why is that from such a beautiful country where there's talent, only one person can win a medal from all the sport activities. Maria, you are a sportswoman, I know. You have been in sports.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. I won't take long. I know we're in closing mood. Me too. I played volleyball for the Zambian national team for, I don't know, 16 years or so. I also represented the country several times. I'm happy to talk about sport today. Yes, first, before I talk about, the advert I would like to give is some other sporting activities, have been like overshadowed by football, not only back home, but I think internationally. A sport, we know what, sports bring people together. Sports, they make you, they give the nationals to represent, they let the athletes or name them, they just bring people internationally, if I would say. But in our country, I think we have seen that as much as very little attention as far as sponsoring some sporting activities is concerned, it has been a trend for years and years. I think our athlete, the one who has won, I think it's the Commonwealth Championship that he's participating in Botswana. I think there's a photo trending on social media. Congratulations to him, of course. But I wanted to give an advert and leave maybe Linda to say something more about sport. I would like to promote the cause of the Copper Queens. We know that in July they will be playing their final match in Australia. And in honor of their achievement on that day, what we did is we have a youngster in Denmark. He's a youth. He used to play for the under 18s, and then he had an injury. But what he did was he didn't want to stop his sporting career just like that. He decided to come up with a tournament called Cup of Hope tournament. And this is a tournament which this boy called Sulanji. He's a son to one of our diaspora in Denmark, Joyce Namumba. Sulanji decided to dedicate his time getting football sponsorship for the vulnerable, because Cup of Hope is actually a football tournament which brings street kids or just the adolescents we have in our compounds together. Each it's an annual tournament. It started in 2017. They come together and play this tournament, and then slowly that tournament from Chililabombwe started rolling out in different cities until last year when I was home. I held the first Cup of Hope tournament in Lusaka in KAUNDA Square. And this year, why am I saying it's an important occasion for Cup of Hope? We decided to take it to another level. We asked the Ministry of Sport to back us up in celebrating the achievement of the Copper Queens. How we're going to have the Cup of Hope tournament finals in Heroes Stadium. We've been given this opportunity, so my idea is I'm happy. So we've been given this opportunity. On the 22nd, we're going to play the finals of the girls' match in Heroes Stadium before connecting on the screens to Australia to give, to boost the Copper Queens. And so this is a diaspora engagement. It's going back home, and I have seen that we have, companies coming on board. They are going to advertise on that day, and we're going to support our Copper Queens in Australia. At the same time, our vulnerable youths, and we're going to cheer in the stadium. A big day for them. This is my announcement. Sorry.
Wow, what a wonderful thing. that kind of passion is really what we need. I know what sports can do. I have to say this. Some of us, we started getting paid because of sports. We are still at school. We are getting some form of a salary, some kind of incentive. So it should not be underrated. It's a very big industry. If you see, millions are being made there, and you can take a cake out of it if you manage it very well. So we definitely will see how we can support that, Maria. That's a good adventure. It reminds me of what we started with Dr. Manga. Maybe some of you know him. He's based in the UK. He's director, sport department department at the University of London. In 1995, we started Ed Sport. In this, yes, and this Ed Sport is what born all those and other academics that you see today in Zambia. We are the first ones who did that. We took the street out of the streets. Some today, they are even holding degrees. They went as far as school. Some they even came abroad. They made it abroad. I remember meeting one girl. She came to visit me when I was still living in another city. Yes, so we can do this. These things, they are doable. It's just a matter of commitment, if we are committed. So in 2-3 minutes, Valinda, we are almost closing. Have you been a sportsman as well?
Oh, yes, I was playing volleyball for Bank of Zambia.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nice and to interact especially when there's a tournament, you look forward, then you bash yourself in that, you know. It was. I miss such times, I tell you, because when there's a tournament, you look forward, you are geared for that one. Hey. Yeah. Talking about sport, I read something which wasn't pleasant about this the Zambian who are hosting. I think the Ethiopian. I've forgotten those ladies where they're coming from, where they accommodated them and they were sleeping on the floor. I don't think if you've seen that one. There was even a comment written, that's the reason why Zambia did not win any. Because how would you treat your friends like this? You would see people sleeping on the floor. I think they're Kenyans or Ethiopians.
Yes.
Did anyone of you see those things?
Yes, Valinda, we have seen that thing, and there is already a government position to that. It's not actually their cause. What I heard, what the Minister of Sports was saying was that, you know, when you host such a big tournament like this that brings all nations, African nations together, you plan it. You ask people how many numbers of people are you bringing, and then you allocate them accommodation. So with the Ethiopian, they are Ethiopians. They with their situation was different. They came with more people than they had planned. So the government is meditating to see how they can solve that, you know, because it's not something, NDOLA is not like Lusaka. Everything has been taken. So people, they are making business. There is money being made right now because of that tournament. People are I remember even people when they don't like in Ndambonda, when he made it in Choma, all houses were booked. The least people were paying per day was $1,000. So you can imagine that no one will let his house free. They would make sure that everyone had people to have in their homes. That is where the problem is. I hope that the government is going to
but then they need to give the people know, because me, when I just came across, I was like, where on earth would they do this? You know, they need to speak about it to clear the air.
Malinda, that's the problem of Zambians. The reading culture is a problem. Let's read. Let's be informative. You know.
No, because me, I just came across that picture.
Yeah.
And said these, I think Ethiopia, and how they were sleeping without no more information. And none of the sport or whoever has come out to say this is the position like you've explained now.
Those are the people who we call them people who are against anything good. So we always find something to talk about, you know. So like that, it was not necessary to make it a world story. What do they say? That person,
Yeah,
whoever
it was
is,
on the news. I don't know which.
get involved and help to see what solutions are there. How can we help these people? And it would have been, but the government is already aware, and I think they are meditating, and they'll find a way
As they're
out.
meditating, let them clear the name of Zambia, because they
They will.
said, you know, you host
They
people
will.
and
So let's
then
give.
also, just like
Let's,
in the UK, the Zambians have formed a group in football, because I'm in one of the UK groups.
yeah.
They have formed a group where they meet Saturdays. They want to form a team, which they also want to be participating in the tournaments around their UK area or London or whatever it is. Yeah. So I thought of, what are we doing in Germany? Where are the people in Germany, despite having youths and everybody? And these, they are medalas, just like by Isaac and some youths who are coming on board, you know? Because if elder people like you can come up with such an initiative, the young ones, they will still have that one, you know? They'll grow with it. They'll have to have a football pitch for Zambians. That is also putting your flag high.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful, Linda. Actually, those ideas, let's have them at the back of our mind. These are things that we can do. Recreation is always good. It actually keeps us healthy. But before we go, I just want to give Rosalind our last words. Rosalind, please, you are with us. Please, anything from the sport
I
arena.
am here. Sports, me, I'm a coach. When I used to be in Botswana, I was, training my own team. I had my, under 12 team that I was training in netball, basketball, and volleyball.
Wow.
And before being a teacher, I've been a netballer, I've been a runner, and I also play football. So that's where my position was a shooter, center, feeder. If you give
Wow.
me a ball, I'll put it in the ring and I'll score.
Wow.
So that is me. So to hear about sports, really, I'm very passionate with sports, and I always, even here, I try in my own way with my class to play football or play something very active. So sports is something that people should not shun away. They should always be active, because, as Maria said, sports bring people together. And also sports is a therapy in trying to improve our healthy. So if somebody loves you, I'm in health as well. If you love yourself, you should always be passionate with sports. Whether you are in netball, whether you are in football, whether, at least be passionate. And that sport, it takes away a lot of diseases like cardiac or BP. All the doctors, they always recommend to say, be active. They are not just being active to cook on Shima. You be active, you walk around. But if you find where there is sports, it's wonderful that Zambia, we turn up to that table where we can really super be active in different sport. I miss Zambia on that life, on football. And when you don't know what will happen at that stadium, because I'll be there myself. And I might even be more louder than Maria when it comes to cheering. But but we really love it, and as Linda has said, we should look into that aspect where we can encourage our children. I've got children here. There are other people have their children. We are also, even ourselves, we yearn to have sports. Just a community of African women, African men. We are there training. It's so exciting. Here in Berlin, there is a West African football team. They always train on Sundays nearby a certain park here. They are very passionate, and they never been. So you see, it's possible. We can also do it here.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And when we do that, we'll be able to, raise something that we can support our sports community in our country, back home, Zambia. So I rest my case, and thank you so much, Maria. I'm looking forward to this tournament.
Oh, with pleasure.
Great.
Thank sponsors in Germany.
Yeah, so that is great. Wonderful to hear that we have all somehow in one or another sport background. I want just Yeah, just want to thank you for taking part, for participating today. It was really a great show. We started with the Labor Day here. We showed what happened in Zambia. We had the short speech that the president gave. He's talking about accelerating jobs creation for economic growth. So let's take this in our minds. And we have talked about the trends of things that have happened in the last weeks. Great things are happening in our country. So for tonight, let's end it here. Thank you so much. We shall be looking forward again to meet next week. Please, let's make it a habit. If you can, come be on board so that we keep on, we want to give information to people, we want to help others, and that's the only way we can reach out very easily, looking at the distance that we are. They say distance was never a barrier. We can still reach out to our people back home. Thank you so much. So I'll go offline and we shall be meeting again next week. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.